Welcome in to TuddyTalk. This is week 2. I'm Devyn,
I'm Gifford.
and well, let's just say we're both a little disappointed in our week 1 performances. Not just both of us, but a few of us in the league had really just disappointing weeks, and we're here to talk about that. So
It was a putrid week for
Yeah.
a lot of us.
we're gonna go through our power rankings and our predictions for next week. Of course, first week competition was a hot start, and that will go to Apple. Congratulations on being the first $10 winner in our league's history. Next week, week 2, is going to be Hero to Zero. Power ranking time. First up, I want to give apologies to some people. First of all, Paris, I am sorry for putting you at 12th. You proved yourself a little bit worthy, and well, I moved you out of there. I'm sorry. We adjusted.
I apologize too. I said ass way too many times when explaining your team. And yeah,
Yeah, you didn't deserve that. However, someone that does deserve it is Zach. 12th place, Zach and Sammy. You
back to
guys
last year, huh?
just poor performance all around. Yes, you did score more than what, 4 people in the league, but
Including you.
including me. But I just don't like your team still. So too bad, so sad.
There's 3 guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Devin not liking Zach's team.
That's true. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just don't like his team no matter what, no matter who drafts him. Just looking at this team, last week you had a few disappointments. Justin Fields, T. Higgins especially, and I don't even think that Kyle Pitts did well. Which, I mean, that's not a surprise because when does he ever? For a tight end last week, he did okay. He got 5 points.
For a tight end, I'll take 5 points any day of the week. But
Unfortunately.
Jacoby Myers did pop off on your bench, though.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
But that doesn't
isn't he
count.
hurt now though? So
Yeah, he's hurt. Concussion.
Doesn't matter.
So the 22 points isn't going in your favor anymore.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you have to hope that everybody does better next week. And you get DeAndre Swift to replace J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins out with an Achilles again this year. Unfortunate.
I think it's
I
time
hope
to
he gets
hang him
better.
up.
That sucks. He was such a big prospect coming out of college. I
Right.
really wanted him to do well. I had him for a little while. So congratulations on 12th place. Get used to it. Somebody that should not get used to their position in 11th place is me.
Drop down 9 spot.
I went all the way down to 11th place because honestly, I tell everybody to not overreact to week 1, but here I am overreacting to week 1 because my team put up 82 points.
I was honestly very shocked that that transpired on Sunday.
After a hot start with Amon-Ra St. Brown with 16 points,
I thought you were well on your way.
I thought I was going to win, especially with both of Tommy's tight ends out. I really thought that it was going to be in my favor, but here we are with 0-1 record.
Deion Jackson happened.
Deion Jackson, yes. If I started Brees Hall, this is going to be a common theme throughout the power rankings. If somebody
Right.
started one person, obviously they would have won. And in my case, it was Brees Hall. I'm not sitting him again, even with the unfortunate injury that we will talk about later.
Zach Wilson's just going to be handing off those footballs.
Absolutely. At 10th, Brittany is right here. But this, I don't expect her to stay down here because she had such a poor performance in week 1. It was all because of Joe Burrow, honestly. And she switched her name to All Time Joe, which is very fitting. I love the name. Congratulations on picking a great name. She did have some good performances from Chris Olave and the RB2 on the Falcons, Bijan Robinson. Jahmyr Gibbs, you hope that he'll do better. He will. He's a rookie, week 1, whatever. Chig got a 0.
A donut.
Come on, man.
If she started Cole Kmet, she would have won.
Again, there it is. Same with Anthony Richardson. If you'd started Anthony Richardson over Joe Burrow, because everybody would have, come on.
But now Anthony Richardson is questionable, so
We'll see.
it's time for all-time Joe to pick it up.
Anthony Richardson got a knee contusion. We'll
That is
monitor
not
that,
good.
but
That is not good.
it's fine. It's a bruise. He'll be okay. it was just underperformances on your team. You didn't get too many injuries.
Unlucky week. Unlucky week.
Unlucky week, just like a lot of us.
Number 9.
At 9, we have Scott. Like I was saying, he also didn't do well this week. A lot of his players just poor performances all around. Not one of his top 4 running backs went off.
No.
You hate to see it. You invested so much capital into that team or into those running backs, and they just didn't pull through for you.
You'd have to expect that to change very soon.
Absolutely.
I don't expect the Giants to get blown out 40-0 every week.
Oh. We'll see.
I'm still questionable on your wide receiver core. I don't believe it. I do not believe your wide receiver core. I need to see that change.
We need to see Terry do something because against Arizona and only scoring 4 points is not a good look.
Disgraceful.
It's awful. Jake Ferguson also, he won 40-0 and got 2 points. That's also not good.
Well, yeah,
but I mean, better than Okonkwo, so we'll see there. Derrick Henry, he was replaced a lot by Tajay Spears.
Really?
Yeah. Tajay got more snaps. Got more snaps than Derrick Henry.
That is not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Very
but
alarming sign.
He still did okay. 12.9, so almost 13 points. Justin Herbert looked pretty nice. They did end up losing. It was a shootout, though. I like that. I do like Justin Herbert this year still. So, yeah, right there at number 9, you got Scott. At number 8.
It's me.
It's Gifford.
I dropped down a little bit, so I'm bottom half of the league now. So as everybody knows, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. First 4 snaps of the game out for the season.
Yep. And because of that, his name is now Rodgers Needs a Walker.
How do you feel about that name?
I like it. I like it. It incorporates 2 players.
Yep.
And I mean, it also alludes to the fact that you don't have a quarterback anymore.
That is very true. I kept Rodgers on the IR just for that reason.
Yeah.
Just for this week.
I like that.
But other than that, I think my team did pretty well. Ridley and Pollard did what they were supposed to do. Ridley actually did a lot better than I thought he was going to do first week. AJ's going to pick it up. Thursday Night Football, short turnaround. That was a very uncharacteristic game by the Eagles. That was very sloppy game.
They almost lost after being 16 up or up 16-0. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're gonna bounce back, and that was a very uncharacteristic game by Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. Kincaid got targets. I know he only had 5 points, but very exciting. I think Javonte and Kenneth should be getting more touches, but Kenneth
got a lot more touches than I expected.
Right,
honestly.
he got 12 carries, but they just stopped feeding him in the second half. Typical Seahawk fashion.
They stopped doing everything in the second half.
2 yards in the second half, by the way, but this isn't about our team.
One thing that I did not expect from your team is Calvin Ridley getting so many targets.
That's I really needed that. My team is almost borderline playoff material and borderline 12th place material. Everything has to be in place for me to continue being where I am.
I feel like in a 12-person league like this, the winner will be somebody that gets super lucky. Yes. Because they won't have injuries, they won't have poor performances. Like
that was me last year. Tough. It was drafts, it was good players, but I think I did the best I could in a 12-man league this year. So
yeah, I like your team still. It'll be good that we'll all have ups and downs. Do you want to give us a hint onto who you're looking at for QB?
Yeah, his initials are BP.
Bijan Robinson. At number 7, we have Tommy, Young Hose. This team, I still don't like it, but I like a lot of other teams less because you won. We have to move you up.
We have to give you bonus points for pulling out the victory with 2 major injuries.
Yeah, that's really cool.
You also basically 2 donuts. Unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, with Kadarius Toney and Drake London both putting up less than 1 point.
But I don't know if that's a welcoming sign. If Drake London gets donuts, that is not a good sign for you, Tommy.
Drake London played 90% of the snaps and got 0 points.
I am a Desmond Ridder hater, and I think he's a bum.
Drake London deserves so much more. He's such a talented player, and this is what he's stuck with.
Because you don't want him ending up like Elijah Moore and calling out his quarterback and requesting a trade. So.
Right. But I mean, they won 24-10. You would expect Drake London to be more involved.
Absolutely. Give him 3-4 catches.
At
Come on,
least,
man.
just something. He's so good.
Fuck.
Travis Etienne. That one was a surprise.
Really? I like Travis.
He got 19 points. I did not expect that.
He had a slow start to the game because Ridley was hogging the ball in the first half, but the second half he took over. I was expecting Ridley's points to go up and no more targets in the second half. So credit to Travis, just closing out the game.
Yeah, I was happy with that performance for you, not for me really.
Michael Pittman showed up.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Michael Pittman, after all year last year doing jack, he came back and had almost 20 points.
Let's remember though, last year his best game was the first game, so maybe he'll fall off after. And now Anthony is hurt too, so
yeah,
maybe Pittman's back to his normal luck after that.
I don't know. I think Anthony Richardson will be back. I think he's fine. He'll be back week 2. Sure. To say Mixon was a disappointment would be disingenuous because all of the Bengals were bad. Joe Mixon might have been the best player on that team.
Oh, for sure. He outscored Chase and Burrow, for sure.
He almost got 9 points.
I think Mixon was the best player this week.
That's insane to say because they scored 3, but I mean he outscored the Bengals offense.
Absolutely.
8.8. I like that. A quick turnaround for your tight ends. You lost 2 of them, but you picked up Jawan Johnson.
Now you got 3 tight ends,
and you got 5 points out of him. That's better than most tight ends this week.
Every point counted this week, and Jawan almost won you the week, man. 5 points. That's all you needed.
Yeah. On your bench, looking at it, you got Tyler Algier, the number 1 running back on the Falcons. We'll be monitoring that. Obviously, we don't know.
A very welcoming sign. If it does turn out to be a split backfield, to get him in the 10th or 11th round, it was a late pick, so
that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your 3 outs this week come back and help you out next week.
For sure.
Congrats, 7. And at number 6. We have to give our dues to Paris. Paris, you are here at number 6.
Top half of the league.
Paris likes France. You came away with a W, beating the 11th place team last week. So
by all means necessary. We still have a couple concerns with your team. Tyler got banged up.
Yeah, a little bit. He came back, but I mean the Seahawks look putrid all around.
Goddard dropped a donut, which I don't expect for most weeks. Hopkins got 13 targets. That's a very welcoming sign. Chubb did his thing. Herbert's going to be fine. I know I gave him a lot of shit on the first podcast, but he'll be fine.
Amari Cooper did nothing.
He didn't do anything.
Deshaun scored 20-something points, but didn't look amazing. I don't know. But, I mean, again, it was raining a lot in that game. And, I mean, even Joe Burrow couldn't do anything. So maybe Deshaun's better than Joe Burrow.
Maybe. Beats me.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll elevate you top half of the league. We still have a couple concerns. I'm not fully in on your wide receiving core yet. We weren't sold on your running back core at first. Now it's your wide receivers are a little bit concerning.
I mean, I'm still concerned about Khalil Herbert. You got to monitor that because Roschon Johnson took everything away from Khalil.
Okay.
And that was rough. I was excited on Herbert this year, but looking at it, Roschon looks like the better back.
Man. Also, another concerning thing is Van Jefferson is on your bench, and he's supposed to be wide receiver 1, and now he's technically wide receiver 5 because you got Puka, you got Tutu.
Yeah, Puka and Tutu.
And Tutu.
That's it's not great. Your bench isn't amazing.
You still have Godwin on the bench if you want to start him if someone's hurt.
Yeah, you want to apologize to Baker real quick?
I do. Baker looked great.
Baker looked fantastic.
Wholehearted apology, at least for 1 week. I apologize. He looked great.
I liked Baker this week.
I'm surprised you started Lockett over Godwin, but I guess that's just me looking at things. But
I don't know. I'm fine with that. I think they're all around the same area.
But yes, Paris, you are up 6 slots.
Congratulations. At number 5, we have Chris, a.k.a. Wall Street. And here, I mean, you scored better than most of the league, so that's why you have to be up here.
Just a tough luck against...
Yeah, there were a few poor performances. Let's call them.
Let's just say if Dallas's defense scored an average 10 points, you would have won this week.
Yeah, I do think that our the other team in this matchup is a bit of a pretender, but we'll get to that when we get to him. Your team did really well, actually. Only 3 players scored less than 10 points. However, you would like to see more out of Jalen Hurts. Jalen, what was that, bud? You gotta do better. If you're gonna be the number 1 quarterback, like you are, we gotta see more out of you.
Yep. Okay? You were scaring me a little bit because AJ wasn't getting targets, but this isn't about my team. This is about your team. Justin Jefferson, 150 yards. I mean,
come on, man.
Can he get a break? I mean, unless Jair,
he doesn't need one.
Unless Jair's on the field, I guess Jefferson's just gonna eat every single game.
He just performs.
Keenan performed. Raheem did what he was supposed to do.
Nobody on your bench really did much of anything.
No.
But that's fine because they were on your bench.
Even Brian Robinson scored.
I liked Brian Robinson. It was against Arizona, but I did like seeing his involvement. Yeah, I told Brittany, you're going to need to shoot him a few more times if you want to stop him. Keenan Allen, a fine performance. Base 11 points, whatever. Yeah, so there's not really much else to talk about on your team. Nobody really got hurt. Darren Waller actually played. He did fine for a 40-point blowout.
Yeah, I mean,
got 5 points.
That's what all you can ask for, really, in that situation.
And your kicker and defense did what kickers and defenses do, unless you're Tatani. At number 4, we have Too Fast, Too Felonious, a.k.a. Nate.
And it's just an unfortunate consequence. Nate, if you played anybody else this week, you would have had the dub. But unfortunately, you played the highest scoring team this week, which was
Matt Apple. Come on.
It takes a tough blow when Tyreek scores 45 points and Josh just fucks it up for you on Monday Night Football.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Just a big old dookie on your team. You know what, Nate? I thought we were something, but I guess we're not. Faking me out there. The only main concern I have with your team, Nate, is if Monty is the best running back on your team, you need to change that ASAP. Make a trade, something, because David Montgomery is not a running back 1. I'm sorry.
He got fed like a running back 1. He got a lot of touches.
But on a team trying to win a championship, you are not going to win a championship with David Montgomery.
No. And I think his touches will go down. Jahmyr Gibbs will go up.
Jahmyr's efficiency was crazy.
I really like the Lions.
He had 6 carries for 45 yards. Yards per carry is great.
Crazy.
So,
yeah, and then you want to see more out of Devontae Adams. Yes, they got the win, but Jimmy G is Jimmy G. He doesn't look good.
He'll pick it up. Devontae will be fine.
Yeah. At number 3,
we got Eric. Congrats on the win, buddy. I'm happy for you.
Yep. Oh, and Eric changed his name this week.
I was wondering who that was.
Let them cook. Okay. I like it. Does that symbol that you're going to get Russell Wilson to replace Jared Goff? I would like that change.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Russell outplayed him the first week.
Yeah, first week. We'll see. I don't expect him to do well all year, but I do like Russ still.
From top to bottom, a pretty solid performance.
I think you got lucky. Let's say that, actually. Aaron Jones got 25. Now he's hurt. I don't expect to see him much next week. Jared Goff only got 16 points. You got 13.9 from your kicker, and that's what helped you win this week.
But, it's fine getting, 9, almost 10. Your tight end gets 8.
Your top wide receiver got 6 points. I didn't like your performance, but you got the win, and a lot of other people did poorly. Honestly, looking at it, I might change your ranking.
You know what? Fuck it, Eric. I didn't have a chance to compete on Monday, and it fucking hurt my soul so bad. Just watching from a distance, just hopeless. I thought they were gonna tape that baby up. No, torn Achilles. 4 plays into the game.
Did you see that video that I sent? You can see the Achilles pop.
Oh yeah, just get him out of the fucking league. He's 40 years old. Get him out of the league. Man. Fuck. I couldn't even compete.
I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. I do not feel bad for you, though.
No, I drafted him. It's my fault.
I'm so happy that you started out 0-1 after talking so much shit about me and Brittany. You deserve to be 0-1 as well. And I can't wait for you to go 0-2.
Oh, man.
God. Anyway, Eric, this is about you. You, what? James Cook looked okay. Actually, the Bills didn't look good. And that's surprising.
Let's just be real, Eric. If you lost to me this week, you would have been in my position. So you had to win, and you dropped a little bit because of your performance, but we had you as the number one team for a reason. I expect your team to pick it up. Waddle's going to pick it up. Chase is definitely going to pick it up, and we'll just go from there. I don't know. Debo doesn't look like wide receiver 1 anymore.
Debo looks like the wide receiver 2 on that team.
Ayuk looked disgusting.
Ayuk was crazy. Of course, CMC. Even George Kittle being hobbled got more looks.
But you'll be fine, Eric. You're 3 this week.
Yep. At number 2, like I was saying, a pretender, we have Tatani.
Damn.
Dak's DK picks, Dick picks.
Now let's go with the positives first before you rip them apart. Dak is not going to score 6 points a week. No. He didn't have to do anything that week.
Nor will CD. CD got 9.7. He'll do better.
DK still scored a touchdown, even though he's about to get ejected from the game.
Bro, he needs to chill.
He needs to go to anger management class.
God, man. You're too old to be doing that. So stupid.
I'm surprised that man hasn't gotten arrested yet, like off the field.
I'm sure he's fine off the field, but on the field, man.
Man, Ayuk is a monster.
What the fuck?
If he does this, he might be like the Cooper Cup of this year because he's just on fire.
He's not doing it with Cooper Cup numbers. He only had 8 receptions. Like, Cooper Cup would get 16 receptions.
And the Steelers' defense isn't the slouch. I mean, yeah.
But, fuck, 31 points from Brandon Ayuk. Good pick. I will apologize for crapping on that. I do think that was a good pick at this point.
Yeah, and then Madison got in the end zone. Jacobs will pick it up. He's not going to score 8 points a week. He'll pick it up.
Yep.
And CD didn't really have to do much either. So I'll stick with the positives. Dallas defense blew the Giants out, secured the win for you, and now we'll let Devin rip your team
apart. You didn't have Dallas, you would have got destroyed. This is ridiculous. This is why a lot of people want to get rid of defenses and kickers, because of these weeks. However, I like that. I don't like it when it happens to you, though, because it wasn't me. No, nothing against you, Tatani. I am happy for you. Your team just didn't do well outside of them. If you didn't have Dallas's defense, you would have scored 95. And, I mean, you would have lost. So, congratulations on having a great performance. Not quite good enough to get the $10, but I mean, that's what we're used to seeing you do. Not quite good enough.
I needed that win to Tawny because I think Devin got the upper hand on me on the other predictions, so you were the only one that came through. So I appreciate that.
Anyway, congrats on 2. Be happy while it lasts.
And number 1,
we have R.I.P. Kyler, aka Apple. This team just stomped expectations. At this point, I mean, the injuries, they're a little bit of a concern, but luckily they happened to, your 2 worst players, Deontay Johnson and Greg Dulcich.
Deontay is one of his 2 worst players. You were high on him before.
I know, I was, and I completely expected him to do well, but now he'll be out a couple weeks, probably. Okay. They were the only 2 that didn't score above 10 points on your team, which is fantastic. And in this league, last year, 147 was a good score. And that was really good.
And we're taking out a wide receiver.
And you still score 147? Come on now.
Now let me be the bearer of bad news here. Tua is not going to score 39 points a week. I expect him to drop off. That's just how it is.
I think he'll get like 25 a week, though.
Really?
He'll still be
You think he's going to stay healthy?
Waddle and Hill. Well, health is a different concern. But if he's healthy, he's a great quarterback.
Elliott's almost scored 20 points. Your kicker almost scored 20 points. That is not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
CMC is going to be consistent till the wheels fall off. 28 a game. He's
God damn.
He's just disgusting. I miss him so much. Thank you for the trophy, by the way, buddy.
Yeah.
Got to snap out of it. This year, not last year. It's this year.
Living in the past.
Mike Evans looked better than expected. If Baker plays like that, then Mike's perfectly fine. Ramondre.
That's crazy. They went into Minnesota and won. After all the hype about Minnesota. God. That's crazy.
And then Garrett Wilson, that disgusting touchdown. Disgusting. One-handed.
Garrett Wilson will be just fine with Zach Wilson at the helm.
I don't know about that.
Wilson to Wilson will work.
I don't know about that. I'm not too sure about that.
I don't know. I think he'll be fine. He's not going to be the second round pick that you expected him to be.
It's not.
That's for sure.
It's not Garrett that I'm concerned about. It's Zach.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to be worth the second round pick anymore, but he will still be solid in your lineup. And I'm sure he'll go off every couple weeks.
I gotta see week by week progression because I'm not buying into the hype yet. But congrats, first week. You blew it out of the water.
Yeah, I like to see what you did, and we'll see how you do next week against Tatani, who we have at number 2. So yeah. Top two teams will be playing each other. Exciting. And that was our power rankings. If you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, okay.
Do something about it.
Do some.
No, tell us in the chat. Let's get the chat active. It was kind of boring this past week. Let's
we had a couple things here and there.
Let's spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, talk about it.
You had me bitching on there. Just.
So we are going to go into our predictions now.
Okay.
And again, these are off the top. We haven't looked at these at all. Well, I haven't, at least. First one, we have me against Chris. And in this one, I don't pick against myself. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
No,
I gotta believe in myself.
You gotta believe. I'm gonna go with Chris.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. His team is crazy good, and my team is rough, to say the least. Next up, we have All Time Joe versus Too Fast, Too Felonious, Brittany and Nate. In this one, it's not really close to me. Nate is going to come out on top. I think Josh Allen will bounce back against the Raiders. I'm sorry, Brittany. I don't think that you're going to win this week unless you make some good changes.
Yeah, the only chink in his armor is that he could replace a tight end. But other than that, I think Nate gets his first one of the season this week.
Up next, we have World of Tanks versus Harris Likes France, Scott and Paris. And in this one,
gotta go.
They're both undefeated. We can say that right now.
Fiercely.
Oh man. But I like Paris in this one. I'm going to take Paris over Scott. Scott just needs to prove something. He didn't do it last week, and I need to see it from him. Paris, on the other hand, proved she wasn't 12th. So.
And I don't mean to pick against you 2 weeks in a row, Paris, because I really like you, but I gotta go with Scott because predictions. We got this bet going on, and let's get it done, Scott. Come on, Scott.
Next up, we have Young Hoes versus Let Them Cook. Tommy versus Eric. And in this one, it's really a toss-up. I still like Eric's team better, though. I'm going to go with Eric over Tommy.
Yeah, London was a big red flag, and I don't know if Kelsey's playing. I'm going to go with Eric as well.
Yep, I like it. Penultimate matchup, we have Dax Dick Picks versus Rip Kyler. That's Tatani and Apple. And in this one, it's first versus second. I think both teams are going to do really well. This
is going to be closer than what meets the eye here.
Dak and CD versus the Jets. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm starting the Jets defense this week, so
that tells you what you need to see.
Yeah.
That offense is crazy, but even when they score 40, Dak only got 7?
Yeah.
He didn't do well. So I think I'm gonna go with Apple. I'm going Apple.
This tight end situations.
Tight ends don't score a lot.
I'm gonna go with Apple as well.
I like that. All right. Final matchup of the week. We have Zach versus Gifford. Gifford needs to put in a quarterback, but even without a quarterback, they are relatively even. And
he needs to put in his running back, but I'm winning this week.
I'm taking that.
No offense, Zach, but you're easy pickings. Unless Justin Fields scores 50, I'm feeling good about my chances here.
It can always happen. Justin Fields can always go off.
Absolutely.
I just think that Gifford's going to win. Those are our predictions for this week. Thank you for joining in Tuddy Talk Week 2. We are so excited to continue doing this, even if Week 1 didn't go well.
We do this for you guys, not for us. We do this for you.
If you couldn't tell, we're in pain.
And remember that Australia is wider than the moon.
Have a good week.